Our live. It is your friend Lisa Mason Ziegler coming to you here for the live shopping show. And friends, take a gander. And this is not even all of the all cool flowers with some sunflowers dropped in as focal flowers. We've been doing early bird sunnies for weeks and weeks, right? All right, friends, today's show, we have a great lineup for you. First up, we're kicking it off and kicking it up a notch with our commercial soil blocking tools, the Swift blockers. I'll be demoing that, and also the small blocker, kind of talking about when and why I use one over the other and helping to make that whole decision. And of course, we are going to be sharing a ton of cool flowers that are just rolling in, right? And at the end of the show, if you haven't ever joined us before, I'll do a little Q&A. So if you have a question that you would like to ask, you can put in the comment @ Lisa. That alerts the team to gather that up as one of the questions. Ask your question, and then we pick a few at the end of the show, and I'll do my best to try to answer those for you. So friends, before we get started here, please, if you wouldn't mind, hit that share button down on the bottom. That's what helps us so much. We have so many new people here every single week, and it's because y'all are doing that, and we appreciate it so very, very much. Now, I have some announcements to make, or save the date, or information you need to know. And the first one is, did you know that this week has been what we call the bundle week? We have put together my Flower Farming School course and Dave Dowling's Flower Farming School course together to make a bundle, y'all. And it's you save $240. Both courses together are $1,150, and I know that's a lot of money, but that is a BB in the Astrodome to what they can do for your business, and the amount of money they save you by misstepping around mistakes that you potentially make, by streamlining. So you have to go over to our big website, thegardenersworkshop.com, and it's on the top of the banner on every page. Today's the last day is why I'm telling you this. Tonight at midnight Eastern time, 12 midnight tonight, the special is no longer available. And we just invite you to check that out, because if you want to start a flower farm, there's no better way to do that. And also, y'all, our once a year open farm is going to be happening the end of June. It's June 29th. It's going to happen here in Newport News, Virginia. We have farm tours, and our warehouse is open for shopping. And the bonus is some of our instructors will also be here, Dave Dowling and Ellen Frost. And in fact, we have an early bird private with students of our courses. My students, Dave's students, and Ellen's students get a special invitation in June to actually sign up to come and get into the gate before everybody else and get a little private tour and have a cup of coffee with us. It's really a lot of fun. And so details will be emailed soon. So if you're not already on our email list, I highly recommend that. That's at the bottom of every one of our web pages on our big website. That's where you can actually find it. So before we get started here with our showing you lots of good stuff and chit-chatting, if you have an account with us, or if you place an order today and make an account, please check it for typos. That we won't be able to reach out to you with shipping information, those types of things, so please check that out. Now, here inside the app, we offer free shipping on seed-only orders. That means if you only order seed packets, the shipping is on us, right? Plus, any product that you purchase here in the app is only charged the standard $9.95. Oftentimes, like today, the product that we're offering, the shipping is potentially twice as much as that, because that's how much it costs. But here in the app, you only pay $9.95. So check that out. And also, we are shipping to all 50 of the United States, friends. So I know that many of you may be joining us on our through social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, and we are so glad you're watching. But we just want you to know that we do have a phone app, and when you get the phone app, which is totally free, you can find it over in your phone's app store. There's just a lot of features you might not want to miss out on. First off, just the whole experience is so much better. You can build a favorites list. You can watch replays. You can go back in and watch videos from last year during the season to see when something bloomed or to see what it looks like. And also, you can comment and interact with the other viewers, which is really a lot of fun, as well as you can enter for the giveaway, which is coming up here in just a couple minutes. So check out the app. Also, if you go to purchase something and it says that it's out of stock, which often happens during the live show, you might want to sign up to be notified, particularly if it's something that's on special. All that means is if the staff is moving more stock over from our big website, they'll give you a little ding when that actually happens. And friends, we absolutely love it when you guys that are our students identify yourself with the sunflower emoji. That just is people saying they're a member of the TGW family. So we absolutely love when that happens. So friends, the giveaway this week, which is becoming, it's y'all's favorite, so we keep bringing it back. This is the $25 store credit. We're going to give it away to one lucky viewer today that's live inside the app. So hit the buy button. You're not buying anything, friends. That just puts you on the list to actually be entered for that drawing. So, all right, so let's dive in. So first off, friends, my book, The Cut Flower Handbook, continues to fly off our shelves. We're just so proud. And this is, I mean, if anybody says to me, I want to learn how to grow cut flowers, or what should I grow, or how do I grow them, I can say, here's the book. And here it is. So this is the Cut Flower Handbook. It's 240 pages. It's hardback. It is packed with beautiful images. It has succession diagrams of 2 beds going through 2 years, y'all. I've been told by so many people that that just made it click in their mind. So this book is $30, and it's a powerful reference tool with easy access to over 66 specific cut flower varieties. Would love to sign one of those for you, as well as my book, Vegetables Love Flowers. Y'all, this is not about vegetables. It's about why vegetables benefit from flowers, and just it's the presence of what they invite and how you can keep the presence of flowers in your vegetable patch by having a cutting garden. But the part that I love to share the most about this book, this really talks about the way that I live with my farm and garden, how we don't use pesticides and how we manage to do that. So Vegetables Love Flowers, and of course I sign all the books that are purchased from us. Each book comes with an additional little bonus when you purchase it from us. And then of course, y'all, did y'all know that this is my 10-year anniversary with Cool Flowers? Isn't that amazing? I just can't even believe it. Cool Flowers is the jumping off point for a lot of people to learn more about the Cool Season Hardy Annuals, the Cool Flower concept, we call it now. Would love to sign this book, and this one, just like the others, comes with a bonus resource. So the deal of the day today is our Swift blockers. And so the Swift blockers, which I'm going to demonstrate them here in just a minute, the Swift blockers is basically the commercial version of soil blockers. And as a flower farmer, has become incredibly significant in our lineup of how we do things here on the farm. We don't normally offer the Swift blockers over here in the app because the shipping is capped at $9.95. So we have brought the Swift blockers over here today, plus the Swift blocker kit, which we're going to look at all that, but you can potentially save in shipping $3 to $20. It depends on where you're located in the country. So you only pay $9.95 shipping. This is only available in the app, and it's while supplies last here. Again, you know, we have to bring stock over here, and that is available until they run out or until Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So the Swift blockers, you know, are our commercial blockers, but choose the blocker that fits for you. We don't use the Swift blockers all the time. It doesn't fit everything that we actually do here on my farm. So we choose the blocker that fits the number of plants that I want and then fits the seed or seedling size that I want. So this is how they kind of they fit into our lineup. So first off is the original soil blocker that I started with 27 years ago, and that is the small, what we call the small blocker. That's this, and you want to give me the green tray on the top there. This is the small blocker, and that is the one that we use the most of the time. And this is 100 of those small blocks on a tray. This is actually Gomphrena, the purple. And so that is the small blocker. And we use this for any seed that'll fit in here because we can get more seedlings on the most seedlings on the same amount of real estate over any other blocker. So that's the small blocker. And this is where I always start. And then I say, oh, it won't fit. Then what am I going to do, right? So next up is the Swift Blocker Mini 75. I think that's right here, Kelly. Or here we go. Nope, it's right there. So the Mini 75, which is the commercial line. There's water in this tray, so if you want to get rid of that. So this is what the Swift Blocker looks like with the tray on top of it. And when I open it up, let me just show you. So this makes 75 blocks. So the blocks on the small blocker are 3/4 of an inch. The Swift Blocker makes 9/10 of an inch. And that doesn't sound like much, but it really makes a big difference. I think if I remember what Dan told me, that is twice the volume of soil. So this makes 75, and that's what fits on this tray. So you've compromised a little bit if that's what fits for you. Instead of 100 small blocks, this has 75. All right, so what that is really perfect for is perhaps seedlings that need to stay, that might need a little bit more space, and they don't have to be like bumped up. I tell you what we absolutely love growing in the Mini 75 are peppers. You know, we grow rooster peppers. Those are the hot peppers that are actually hybridized as a cut flower, right? So we grow a lot of them. Would love, because we used to start them in the small and bump them to the 2-inch. Well, that's a lot of work. Why not just start them in the Mini 75 and they don't have to get bumped? So that works really well. So the peppers we start Scabiosus, Amobium, marigolds. You know, there's a lot of seeds that, you know, you're kind of pushing the small block to the edge, but it works perfectly if you're a commercial farmer. The next Swift Blocker, another one of the commercials, is the Mini 27. And let me show you what that is. So that is this. This makes 27 of the 1.5-inch blocks, right? So this would be comparable for some seed that won't fit into either the Mini 75 or the small block. And I mean, sunflowers would work in here, sweet peas, Cerinthe, calendula, salvia cuttings I do in this. So this fits in that same footprint, but so we've gone from 100 small blocks to 75 of the Mini 75s to now this is 27 on the same footprint. So I'm hoping this is helping y'all visualize. It's all about choices. Quicker sometimes means you have to give up a little bit on the space. So that is the Mini 27. And then we have the large blocker. This is the blocker that makes the 2-inch block. And this makes a set of 4 of them. And this is when you have larger seeds, just like what you would do in the Mini 27 we just looked at, but perhaps you don't need 27 plants, right? This is what a lot of people that aren't big growers yet actually use. We use this for bumping up the 3/4 inch. I've got an example to show you. So here's one that we actually started these. This is pumpkin on a stick. For any flower farmers out there, that is literally one of your best late season. These will actually produce a little before we need them, but we start them all summer long so I can be showing them to you. These were started in the small block and then they were bumped up. Can y'all see that in there? You can see where the small one was dropped in, but I don't need a ton of these, so we just bump these up into the 2-inch block. And then the other time we use the 2-inch block is when we do seeds that are bigger. This is squash. A squash seed is too big to go into the small blocker, but we don't need 27 of them, right? So we use the 2-inch blocker, and you can see there's one just being born right there, coming up with his neck. So that is when we use the 2-inch blocker. I start sweet peas, squash, gourds, and I bump up eucalyptus, tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant. So again, it just depends on what you're gonna do. So let's demonstrate. Let me show you how I make those blocks. And we're going to start with the small blocker. And Suzanne's going to move the camera for us here. And so this is our ready-made blocking mix. And you can make your own. There's the big difference in the blocking mixes. They're much more dense, so they bind together. And so this has been mixed 3 parts of the ready-made mix to 1 part water, so it's pretty wet. All right, so I am going to take my small blocker, 2 hands, and I'm just going to push it down into the blocking mix. I like to always push twice. That just makes sure that my blocks are pretty firm and filled up. And this is a potato masher, y'all. I find that to be the very best tool. And so this is one of our mini trays, which holds 1 set of 20 3/4 inch blocks. And this is actually what we started our tomatoes in. And it's just, it's that quick, friends. You've created your own container, right? When we're using this small blocker, 99% of the time, whatever I'm sowing is gonna grow up and go to the garden in this block. It's all about the timing, friends, because this is the most space efficient size. So that is the small blocker. So now let's make, I'm gonna load the Swift blocker and kind of show you how that works. And we're trying not to get too dirty here, y'all. So I'm gonna put on a pair of gloves, which y'all know we love our gloves. You can find these aren't in the show today, but they're in the app. We live in these gloves literally around here. All right, so I wanna move this to the side and put this down so that the bottom of the tray doesn't get wet, y'all. We just would so love to have. So can you see this? Mm-hmm. You can see it? Okay. So what I've done is I have put the Mini 75 in the tray that it's gonna be made in. You take the top out, and then I'm just gonna load this. And I'm just gonna try to do this as quickly as I do it when I'm not talking to y'all. So I'm trying not to spill a lot of soil because it's kind of hard to clear it from the edge, you know, these sides over here. And you're just pushing on it, making sure it's going down in there. I push better when I'm not talking, y'all. I think it's called focusing. And pay special attention when you're filling the ends and the edges. That's where, see, like right there, that one has nothing in it. How'd he get missed? And just taking your time to do it cleanly, meaning you're not spilling a lot of soil, means you don't have to clean it up. So I'm just pushing it down one final time here. All right, what I usually do is take my hand and just run it down the middle, and you can feel the top of the blocker. You can feel what to take off, so you don't have so much to scrape. This is the scraper seeder for the 75. And you literally just scrape. And because I don't want to spill a bunch on the side, I'm just not doing it so quickly. And there you go. So I'm trying not to make a mess, y'all. Doesn't always work though. And so now you're ready. I'm gonna show you a hack on seeding in just a minute. But let's just say you're just gonna go on just to make these blocks. And literally, guys, it is that bloomin' quick and easy. And that's where the commercial blockers save you time. Lots and lots of time, right? So I have already sewn a tray that has not been pushed out yet, okay? So I need the seeds. And I chose to do pelleted seeds so you can see them. And I don't know if y'all can tell, this tray has already been sewn except for these 2 rows right here in the middle.
Point to where you've sewn.
Everywhere is sewn except these 2. And you can see it's these little dots because I'm using pelleted seeds. And because you're not going to be responsible to firmly seat them, because we're going to do that as we make the blocker, you literally can just drop a seed. But of course, that's what the seeder's made for. What did I do with it? So the seeder only works with, there is a dry one somewhere. Where's the kit? Yes, please. Yeah, yes. So the seeder is made for the 75, and you literally just put it down, dump your seeds there, and then literally you just take your finger and drop a seed in a hole. And I can tell y'all, this can be anybody that likes to cross stitch, sew, weave, this is totally fun. And you literally just drop the seed over. Whoop, where'd he go? And drop it in. There's kind of a little indention back here that holds the seeds. This works so well on snaps and celoseas. So the seeds are sewn on the surface. Now we're gonna put the tray in, and as I push them out, guess what it does? It firmly seats them on the surface. They got pushed when I pushed this out. So that is yet another benefit from this. Instead of placing each one with a toothpick, which we do very efficiently and quickly, that is not necessary. So that's how you finish it up. Now, the deal of the day
Ready
is...
to go up?
Yeah, probably. Don't you think I should show that stuff down maybe? Probably better down. Okay. So the deal of the day, again reminding you that it is the Swift blocker, including the kit. I'm going to show you each one individually. The shipping is capped at $9.95, which saves you $3 to $20 based on your location. This is only available in the app.
The 75 first.
Right. The 75, just the 75?
Kit. Oh, yeah, no, it is the kit.
All right, so the deal of the day, what we're starting with, is the Mini 75 kit, which is not that. So what this includes is the Mini 75, which you just saw me use and make, right? It includes the cedar scraper. Now this scraper will work on the Mini 27, but the seed holes aren't right? So it includes the scraper. It includes the DIY blocking mix nutrient, which means you can make your own blocking mix at home. You add your peat moss or cocoa fiber, your choice, and compost. You sift them and add the nutrient. This is powder, green sand, and rock phosphate, right? And friends, it includes 5 of these amazing trays. We love these trays. We import these from England. I mean, they last for years and years, and they're firm, so you can actually carry them without them flexing. Totally love them. So you get all of this for $267.95 with only $9.95 shipping. And I'll tell you, that's a great savings because it's very heavy, and we'd love for you to have that. So you can, if you don't need the kit, just purchase the Mini 75, which means the top and the bottom tray, right? And it is $218.95. And these are made in Michigan, right here in the United States. And you'll be set. You know, I will say that we use all of these. If you're just starting out blocking, you know, you'll pick and choose what it is you would like to do, but the Mini 75 makes 75 of the 9/10 of an inch blocks, and it's $218.95 with $9.95 shipping. But friends, you only pay the $9.95 shipping once, you know, no matter which products you actually purchase. Now, if you already have a Swift blocker maybe and you didn't get the scraper, I will tell you, I tried to use, when I first got one of these, I tried it without the scraper. It is definitely convenient, definitely more efficient, and the seeding option is pretty incredible. The scraper is $38.95, and this too is made right here in Michigan, and it just makes the process so much easier. Now, the Mini 27 makes 27 of those 1.5 inch blocks which is just real. I mean, if you're not doing high volume of sunflowers, or if you want to do them for sweet peas, this is what we use. This is $208.95, and with $9.95 shipping. And so that'll get you set up. And again, all of these fit in the perfect footprint of that green tray. Now, if you just need some green trays, you'll have to go over to our big website to actually do that. Now, let's backpedal a little bit to that small blocker, which is what I use the lion's share of the time, and that is the small blocker, which makes a cluster of 20 of the 3/4 inch blocks. It also, this kit comes with the ready-made mix, which is 6 quarts, and this makes approximately 500 of these little 3/4 inch blocks, right? This kit also includes my course, Seed Starting Made Easy. This course includes making small blocks, large blocks, Swift blockers, sewing into plug trays, and direct sewing, but it also takes you through the beginning to the end of the seed starting process. It's about 116 minutes long, and that comes with the kit. The kit also comes with 3 packs of seeds, and you select either cool season or warm season. That is up to you. This kit also includes 5 of the large trays. Each tray holds 3 clusters of 20 of the 3/4 inch. It comes with the seed pan, the toothpicks, which is how we sow tiny seeds, and the the little wooden plant ID markers. You get all of this for $89.95, and it's just ready to go. You can sift your soil if you choose to, and you have your instruction, and you're ready to make soil blocks. This is the #1 way that we sell soil blockers. It's our customers' favorite. Now, we also have a DIY soil block maker kit, and that is this. So this includes the small 3/4 inch blocker, but it includes the DIY nutrient that you add your peat moss or cocoa fiber and compost to. So this bag of nutrient will make approximately 6 recipes. A recipe is basically the equivalent of our ready-made bag, right? So this would basically make 6 recipes times 500 each one, about 3,000 of those small blocks, and you get the seed pan with it. This is $49.95, and this really gets you up and off the ground if you want to make your own soil and get to soil blocking. Now, if you just need the tool, this is the soil blocker. We do import these from England, from the sisters, we call them. They're friends, and this is $39.95, and it makes 20 of those 3/4 inch blocks, and this is the beginning of my flower farming career, y'all. It's just so space savvy. All right, now you can just purchase the 6-quart bag of the ready-made mix. This is Fort V. Again, this will make approximately 500 of the small blocks, or about 30 of the large 2-inch blockers. You just add water, it's already got nutrients, and it's ready to hit the ground running. Now, if you are gonna be that person that makes your own soil at home, then we have what's called the soil set. And that includes, you wanna take me up now maybe? Sure. That might be better. So we're gonna go up, y'all, so we can show this to you just a little bit better. So the soil set really is super handy for people that wanna make their own soil at home. So what this includes, this little set, people kept buying this stuff together, y'all, is how these things get started. It includes the DIY nutrient mix that I just spoke about. This makes 6 recipes. A recipe makes about 500 of those small blocks when you add your compost and your peat moss. This includes the fungus gnat fighting kit. This means this has the sticky traps to trap the adults and the bits that you add to your watering can once a week. The watering can takes care of the developing larvae that live in the moist soil that grow up to be the adults that fly around and make you crazy. This is revolutionary, y'all. So that includes this, and it includes our toothpick dispenser and the toothpicks for sowing seeds, as well as the seed pan. what's so significant about this has no static electricity, y'all. You don't know how much you're fighting to get your seed on the toothpick or whatever you're using. So that is the seed pan, but here's the baby of this. Y'all, this includes the sieve or the sifter, whatever you want to call it. This fits perfectly on a 5-gallon bucket. I mean, it makes the job so easy to sift your compost, your peat moss, your ready-made mix, whatever it is that you're doing. This has got a 1/4-inch screen, and we totally love this. This set is $58.80, and again, y'all, it's only $9.95 shipping. And these are just things that just make the whole process just so much easier. So let's look at the trays that I use. I use about 12, 13 different size trays here on my farm because you want to use the tray that fits the number of plants that you're actually making, right? So this is our mini tray. They come in sets of either 5 or 25. The 5-pack is $1.95, 25-pack is $6.95. This is our small tray. This holds 2 clusters of 20 or 2 clusters of the 2-inch 4 set. And this is what we call small, and it's $2.95 or it's $12.95. I mean, this is like 5 by 8, y'all. So space savvy, Soil Blocking is. This is our large tray. And this will hold 3 clusters of 20. 5-pack is $3.95. These are foam reusable trays, by the way, y'all. You don't throw these away. We use them for years. And the 5-pack is $3.95. The 25-pack is $15.95. So those are really versatile. And what we use to identify everything around here is our garden marker. We totally love this little guy. It's got a fine line so you can write details and still read it. And let me just tell you how long this lasts. This is made to withstand UV rays and moisture. This is one of our plant markers, which you'll find these in the app too. This is a plant marker from fall a year ago. So that's like a year and a half old. You can still read it, y'all. This is Royal Mix Sweet Peas. This pen really works. We have them all over the farm here. People are constantly stealing them to use for everything around here. All right, so an important step in our seed starting process is the seedling heat mat, right? Now, we do have a big commercial one available over on our website, but this one will basically hold 3 to 4 of those the medium and the large size trays, right? It has a built-in thermostat. Seeds sprout better with consistent warmth, and that's what this produces. This is $39.95. This is something that we have ours plugged in probably 10 months out of the year because it's just you're constantly starting seeds, and this helps you to get them to sprout quicker and more efficiently. Now, those celosias that you just saw sown on the surface, and then we firmly seeded them when we popped them out. Surface sown seeds really can be susceptible to dry out quickly, and that's why we use the wide weave burlap. That allows air to pass through it, but it helps to trap moisture, particularly on the surface. So we lay this on our blocks as soon as we put them on the seedling heat mat. First sign of cracking, seedlings cracking open, we take this off. And then the job has been done. This is a 3-foot piece approximately, and it's $3.95, or you can get a 3-pack of them for $9.95. So those are just really helpful, especially for those surface sowners. Y'all, Suzanne is gonna take over now.
You're gonna help me with the poop.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Suzanne, Lisa's little sister. Just going to tell you about our espresso watering can. We love this. It holds 2 cups of water. Perfect gentle flow when you're watering your seedlings, or if you're watering house plants, you can just leave it sitting on the shelf next to your plants because it's beautiful. But my favorite use is to put flowers in it. It just makes a beautiful little decoration with the flowers in it. So it's stainless steel and it's $29.95, and love this. Everybody needs one. Next we have our Neptune Harvest fertilizer. Now we use this with the houseplant directions to water our seedlings once a week. It does smell, so you just want to take note. If there's someone working outside the door of the plant room, you may want to wait until they're off, sister. But this is our favorite go-to fish fertilizer. It's $15.95. You can also use this to foliar feed your plants, and the plants just love this. All right, next up we have our complete organic fertilizer Lisa's going to tell you about.
So this is the same fertilizer that we use here on our farm. We actually have it packaged. It's a chicken litter based, dry processed fertilizer, general purpose, and we just follow the directions. I think it's 7.5 cups per 100 square feet. And we add this without a soil test. This is the only thing we really add to our soil without a soil test telling us to actually do it. This really feeds your soil so that your soil can take care of your plants. Totally love this. At every crop swap, you can incorporate it. If you don't have a golden retriever, you can put it on the surface, because if you leave it on the surface, golden dogs love to eat it. So just incorporate it. Don't apply it while your dog is outside is my method of madness, and it works really, really well. Totally love this. And this is it the 4, and it's the 4 pound size. So this will do, it is 3 pounds per 100 square feet. So that bag is a 4 pounder. So it'll do a 10 by 10 garden and works really, really well. So sister, what do you have to say about Bio 360?
Well, I just took some home to use in my landscape. Bio 360 just covers the soil and prevents weeds from germinating underneath of it. And it really does help. When it's cool outside, we would use the black side up, and that helps heat the soil so that you can plant and your plants will do better. But if it's hot outside, you don't want to fry your seedlings. We use the light side, and that helps keep the soil a little cooler, just doesn't warm it up. This is so easy to plant through. You can poke through it with your finger. As you can see, it looks like Swiss cheese because we have done that so many times. Bobo likes to use the Bobo weeder or a screwdriver, anything that makes a really small hole, because if you make a big hole, then the weed seeds around your plant are going to germinate, and you don't want that to happen. So we love this. It comes in a 50-foot or a 100-foot pack, and the single 50-foot is $24.95, or you can get a 6-pack for $119.95. 100-foot is $39.95, or the 3-pack of 100-foot is $110.95. And again, I'm putting this down in my landscape, and you can just put mulch over top of it, and it prevents those weeds, but it breaks down. It's made from a corn byproduct, so it breaks down and actually feeds the soil, and you can just till it into the soil the next time you're planting there, and it's great. We love it. Never found pieces around, or it never makes a mess on the farm.
And it really allowed us that we really attribute the opportunity to grow our farm, to scale it, to grow more because of that. It just eliminates so much weed pressure, which is, you know, I live in the South, y'all. We just have serious weed pressure. Those weed seeds are just waiting for their chance. Really, really love it. Now, we know that I spent the day yesterday literally pounding stakes, installing flower support netting. So this is the flower support netting. It's plastic. It's got 6 by 6 squares. We suspend this above our flower beds using just garden stakes. I use 1.5 by 1.5 inch, 4 foot tall wood stakes. T-posts work great too. To install it, your flowers just grow up through it. So when that torrential rain comes, y'all, it doesn't just lay everything down. So this comes in a 20-foot piece for $11.95, or a 50-foot piece for $21.95. On our website, there's big rolls of this if you need it.
We also use this as a planting grid. You can roll it out onto your bed, and it's 6 inches. So you know if you're spacing your plants 6 inches apart, you just plant, then you just take it up, roll it up. Bobo keeps it in the bathroom with some of our supplies and uses the same piece over and over to plant through. Next up, we have our kitchen composter. We have sold this for years. When we came across this, we just fell in love with it. This is perfect to fit under your kitchen sink, and it has a really tight lid. Doesn't have a filter, because guess what? You shouldn't be putting anything in here that really generates a smell. You want to put all your greens, all the little debris, you know, when you're making dinner, the greens and things like that, not any meat or anything fat. We don't even really do banana peels, take a really long time to break down, so we wouldn't do that. But just empty it out in your compost outside regularly, and you don't need a filter. This is great also for bird seed. I mean, I can't tell you all the different things we've used it for. Compost buckets, $15.95, and it's just the perfect little size, and it's very sturdy. Next up, we have our Slug X. favorite. If you'd like to have a little dinner party for your slugs, you just put some beer in here and they love it. They love the yeast in the beer and it attracts them. They drink, they get drunk, they fall in. There's no lifeguard, sorry. So we love this in our plants to keep our plants from getting the slugs, but they also crawl on the side of my house and up on the windows and the screens and just leave a horrible mess. So everybody needs a Slug X. This one you can put a cinder block or a brick on top in case your dog likes pickled slugs and snails, which mine does, and that will keep wildlife and your dog from getting in there. Yeah, and it keeps the water out when it rains. It's $19.95, and Pabst Blue Ribbon is the preferred beer of slugs. Just a tip for you. Okay, next up we have the Tick Key, and unfortunately I've had to use this 3 times in the past few weeks on my dog, and this works on any wiggling animal, husband, child. You just simply slide this right over the head and push down when you strike it across, pulls him out, head and everything. Works wonderful. The instructions are on the back. I have one of these in every drawer in the house because they're never nearby when you need them, but they do have a hole you can put them on your keychain so that you'll always know where they are. Tick Key is $9.95. Get a couple, get some for your friends. Everybody should have one. School nurses often have these, so they really know what it can do. Next up we have the Weather Stick. This is the funnest thing for anybody who spends time at home. Kids love it. I love it. There's a little hole in it. You simply hang it with a little nail so that you can see it from the side. And when the weather is good, it curves up, and when the weather is bad, it bends down. I've seen mine touch the post it was attached to, it bends down so far. It's made of balsam wood, the same thing as a divining rod, and it is just so much fun. Everyone's sure they're not going to work. It's $10.95. Get it, see if it's working or not. All right, next up we have a reminder for the giveaway. $25. You must be present to win, so please, everybody, get on the list to be part of our giveaway today. $25 will be added to your account immediately once we hear from you. Next up we have our desiccants. Now we're getting ready to show you flowers that we just harvested from the garden, and it is important that you purchase the seeds when you see the flowers you want, because we're going to forget, right? But the way you store those seeds is in a desiccant in a container and tight. Either a sealed bag or a mason jar works great. You can put them in your refrigerator, but as long as they stay dry and don't get hot, they'll last for a really long time. The Desiccant 2-pack is $2.95. The 10-pack is $9.95. Get these, put them in with your seeds, and make sure that they're staying good and dry. And now we have my sister with the harvest of the week, everybody's favorite.
Friends, I'm calling this the Love and a Mist week. We have the most gorgeous Nigella. So first up, we have the Miss Jekyll Indigo Blue. And it's indigo, I guess. This has got some really great dark. You can see here's the pod. This is what develops after the flowers. And yes, friends, just like all those snapdragons, I grow them all. Now this is Miss Jekyll's Light Blue. And again, here's a pod, and you'll find that the different colors have different pods occasionally. And so if you miss it fresh, you just let it go on to develop the pod, and that is in demand. Y'all wait till you see this one. This is Delft Blue. Look at this. Bobo is so in love with this, and I wanted to show, look at the centers of these. Look at these. Can y'all see? Can't see that. These incredible centers, which turn into these amazing pods. This is the one I was looking for. Look at that. It's like a spider in the middle of it. Amazing. And then look, this is African Bride. She's pretty much the same structure, but she's just white. See, this is the developing pod. These pods are totally different than the rest of them. And look at this. That mulberry rose. Beautiful. Then this is what's called Midnight. And so that has the same structure of the African Bride and the Delft, but it's in the blues. So amazing. And then look at this. This is the white, the Albon green marbles. And this is why it's called green marble, y'all. The pod is lime green. This was the number one of the most favorites for Colonial Williamsburg all those years that I sold it to them. Really, really love that. So I grow all those Nigellas. They all kind of bloom at the same time. You got to know that. And here is another really foliage favorite. This is actually called Carthamus, better known as safflower. And it does bloom, but we use it as a foliage. It is such a sturdy hold. It holds up. You can't really see yet, but these would have a little orange or a little yellow pop of flower coming out the middle, but we find it so much more valuable as a nice filler for our bouquet. So this is Carthamus. And these are all, by the way, cool flowers, all fall planted. And y'all, there they are, Chinese forget-me-nots. So the Nigella and this were both direct sown. This is just one of my very favorites. And once you learn how to grow it and harvest it, by direct sowing it, planting it in the fall, it gets tall as it gets older. And this is the Chinese forget-me-not rose. Really, really beautiful. It's hard to stand up next to the blue, right? Y'all look. The Royal Mix Sweet Peas. I only wished you could smell them. Oh my gosh. So Suzanne set them by color so you could see the real mix of colors that are in here. And then this is the sweet pea high scent. This is the most fragrant sweet pea that we grow, most hardy. Oh my goodness, so very, very beautiful. Then we have pot marigolds. The Pacific Beauties is a real mix of oranges, yellows, different centers. Pot marigolds are not, they don't last the longest, but when you're desperate, it's one of the first flowers that blooms for us. We really, really love it. And particularly this buttercream, y'all. It's called Ivory Princess. This is a really, really beautiful color and super early. And guess what we have today? The very first Rudbeckia. Meet Goldilocks. She's totally beautiful. I love her because of her perfect size. You can see it's not huge. This will be really beautiful and useful. And these were all fall planted. And wait till you see this. These are, what you're about to see, our straw flowers were very early spring planted here where I am. Look at these babies, y'all. You know they're born papery, right? How beautiful. This is the king size orange. They're just gorgeous, y'all. This is perhaps one of the most underused in bouquet making business there is. And look at this. This is purple red. You don't want a whole bouquet of these in the spring and summer, but having one of these sticks in one bouquet just pops it right up. Love that. And look at this, is copper red. So this is like a cross between orange and red, if you ask me. Look how beautiful that is.
You sure how tall they are?
Kelly, she wants me to show how, and they're twice this tall out in my garden, by the way. They are so huge, just so very, very beautiful. And then this is, the white's just starting. I mean, y'all, straw flowers are like sunflowers. People think they're so simple. I could have sold them to everybody every single week. Look at this. This is Queen of Africa, Ami Magus. Super beautiful. This is the last of the Cerinthe. I went out there and scrounged this up for our workshop customers tomorrow, students. Look at those little flowers. This is another great one that's good from foliage stage to up when it blooms. And y'all, nobody has ever had enough Sweet William. One of our biggest commercial customer always told us, this is like their top pick for Sweet William, is this color, Amazon. How beautiful is this? I mean, these stems are just amazing. And Amazon also comes in purple, which I love the bright popping color. I mean, look at the stems on these guys. Bobo and Elizabeth did a great job of stripping all this for our guests tomorrow. This is cherry. You know, Sweet William is a really big standard floral crop for florists and designers, and local crops smoke what they get shipped in. Now this is the sweet variety, and this is coral. That's just a great color. This is one of the first Sweet Williams to actually bloom. This has been blooming probably for 5 or 6 weeks. And then look at this, black cherry. Love it, y'all. Totally love it. And then there's white, which you never have enough white anything, right? You can always use white flowers. And those were all sweets. Now let's take a look at some of the snaps. This is the some of the dragons. This is the white dragon, which is a mix of over 13 different varieties and different shades. I mean, Madam Butterfly and Chantilly and so many. You only plant once, but they bloom over a longer period. Then we have the Chantilly mix. This really, I mean, I just love this pink color right here. And there's some shrimp. There's just so many beautiful, and this is the first snap to bloom on my farm. It's a short day, and it is really nice. This is Rocket. This is the old standard. This is the first snap I ever grew, right? All the standard colors, looks like a standard snapdragon. Super hardy. Love Rocket. And then Madam Butterfly, which, do you know what that means? Madam Butterfly is a double snapdragon. Look at the ruffles. This color is called bronze white, and it's because it's bronzy with a white throat. This is super. I mean, I just love them all, y'all. Do you understand why I have a snapdragon problem? Wait till you see these. This is Madam Butterfly Rose. I absolutely love this one. I mean, how many of these do you think you can sell at Mother's Day, right? Really love it. And the Madam Butterfly is actually available in a mix. So if you need to get to know, look at the ivory and the bronzy color. And I mean, it's just, Madam Butterfly is a keeper. And then look at Opus, y'all. Opus is amazing. I mean, it's got all the standard. This has probably got the sturdiest stem on a snapdragon I have ever grown. Because you know I grow everything out in the field, right? Totally beautiful. And we are basically at the end of our Orlea. This is white lace flower. It's pretty much over. I mean, we've cut it clean. It may spring back. But this is really different than the Ami. It has larger petals around the edges. This was direct sown. And then, y'all, we have lots of stock. This is probably my go-to one. This is called, the variety is called Cheerful, and it only comes in yellow. This is what they call yellow. It looks more like ivory. Really useful. This is the tallest stock I've ever grown outdoors in the field. Stock has a clover fragrance, so it is really special. Sorry, I can't hand it to the allergy person. And so this is the white, which is called Cat's High Double. And what they mean by high double is double bloom. See, that's a single. It happens. But what you're looking for are these double blooms. And so that's Cat's White. Again, you can never have enough white flowers. And look at this, y'all. Apricot. I think that's like the color of the year, that blushy color, right? How beautiful is that? And this is Cherry Blossom. I will say this is one of my favorites. This is a really soft, pretty, lavender pinky kind of color. And then speaking of lavender, and they are just getting started. This color is just coming along. That's the lavender blue, they call it. Then this is the blue, Cat's Blue. And they're just all really, their stock is just really coming in right now. All right, so then we have Feverfew, y'all. You can never grow enough Feverfew. This is the White Wonder, which is the easiest, the one to get to germinate, strongest grower. It's got a nice white double bloom, super, I mean, event work, bouquet work, and y'all look at this. Bobo said to me yesterday, we've done it again. Look at these billy balls. This is Craspedia, and these are transplants. They are also deer bait, so you have to protect them. But this does for flowers like Gumphrena does. Those little round balls are just like nothing else. And then look at this, y'all. Bells of Ireland. Look how, this is the very end. Look at these. These were direct sown last fall, and they do just fabulous. And they smell like apples. And then the filler of the year for me always is Bupleurum, y'all. Our bouquet makers tomorrow at the workshop are gonna love having all this Bupleurum. Look how pretty that is. That's direct sown, and then we succession planted throughout the winter. We start it to plant. And then we have Summer Berries Yarrow. And really love this. This is really just kind of getting started. This would be pretty much a standard stem that we get from this. Pretty tall. And look at all those beautiful colors. Summer berries, right? That's what it's all about. And then look at this, y'all. This is Daucus, real Queen Anne's lace. This is the Dara. And I will tell you, they're 3 times taller than this out in my garden. And these are really, I mean, they grow, they'll spread to this, and they start out kind of like that. And I love them in all stages. And those two were fall planted. Now we're on to warm season tender annuals for just a minute. Look at my early bird sunnies, y'all. These are Pro Cut White Night. They're called Night because they have a dark center. These are the perfect focal flowers for all these cool flowers, right? And then look at these. These are White Light. See how the centers are light colored? They're the perfect focal flowers to go along with all of your cool flowers. And another early special one that we love is the Pro Cut Peach. And while you wouldn't look at this and say peach, but after you know it's peach, you look at it and you say, those petals are definitely peach. They're really pretty transparent. I totally love these guys. So having those early bird sunflowers really makes a huge difference. And then y'all, look at this. These are the giant poppy pods. I can't wait for them to see these tomorrow. These are this tall out in the garden. We would always sell them fresh, so you get them before they get blemished. Direct sown last fall, and they're just going strong. Then look at this. This is Status, the apricot, which has several shades in it. An amazing dried flower, but friends, it is totally one of our favorite go-to bouquet flowers. Love Status, and it holds that color once it's dried. And look, who wouldn't use a bunch of this, right? Kind of matches me, right? This is the light yellow. Love this. And then this is my most favorite color of Status, just because it's a bright color. It pops up all those soft colors of spring. This is the rose shades, they call it. And all of this will just dry beautifully. This is the Seeker Purple. While we tend to love all those soft colors, people love those jewel hot colors is what we've learned all these years. So that is purple. And then Amobium. Y'all, if you're making bouquets, I don't know how you've been making them without this. I don't know how I made bouquets without this. And height, these are so tall. One stick is great to just put into your bouquet. Totally love it. And then, friends, the Larkspur has just gotten started. This is Misty Lavender. Look at this color, y'all. It is so beautiful. Direct sown last fall. And then this one, oh my gosh, Fancy Smoky Eyes. So this is a white with a blush of purple on it, but it's smoky, like the name implies. Direct sown. And that's an incredible cash crop too. That's florist already using that. And then this is our Larkspur mix, which has a mix of purples, lavenders, whites, pinks. Really beautiful. And of course, we have bachelor buttons. Who doesn't need blue flowers, y'all? Blue flowers are something that they do not get anywhere else except from local flower farmers. Love the bachelor buttons, which are actually direct sown, right? Man, I can't believe we got through those all so quickly. So friends, it's time to wrap up. And remember, you can stick around for the Q&A that I'm gonna do at the end. I just wanna remind everybody, first off, that we have so many free resources over on our big website, thegardenersworkshop.com. There is videos and blogs. You can connect with our podcast because we have two, right? We have Field and Garden, and then we also have Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane. Like yesterday, what landed was 3 warm season flowers to succession plant every week. So Lane is our seed manager. She is also the co-creator on Cool Flowers Seed to Harvest. She's the one that pulled all that together. And so it's really a great show, and you can actually catch it over on YouTube because she puts together a beautiful PowerPoint. And remember that tonight, which is what is today, the 17th?
Yes.
May 17th. I'm going to be on Instagram tonight at 8 p.m. and I'm going to be talking to those people that want to become a flower farmer. And if that's you, I'll be answering your questions tonight about the course bundle set. That special offer is going away tonight at midnight Eastern time. And so this coming Wednesday, our host for Ask a Flower Farmer is going to be Dave Dowling. And that happens Wednesdays at 12:30 Eastern time over on my Instagram account, which is Gardener's Workshop Farm. And for about 30 minutes, we kind of take people's questions and do our best to answer them. And remember to check back here with us next Friday for the live shopping show, which is themed Marvelous Marigolds. Y'all, marigolds are so undervalued. I feel like I'm like the support group for all these flowers that are just so great, right? All right, friends, we have a winner of our giveaway. Where's the card? And what we're giving away today is the $25 store credit, and I certainly hope you're here, winner, because you have to be here to actually claim your prize. So the winner is Melinda Redding. Melinda Redding. If you're here, Melinda, give us a big shout out in the comments, and Kelly will pop that $25 credit right into your cart so you can shop. I mean, what a day to get a Swift blocker. You know what I mean? Really. So hopefully Melinda is here and we'll get that added to her cart. And I thank you guys for joining us. Totally love sharing this harvest with you, and I can't wait to report back how the bouquets went tomorrow. So let's just take a question or two here. And, okay. Yes, so here's one. What size blocker do you typically use for sunflowers? What a great question. Again, you would weigh those questions that we had. How many sunflower plants do you need? Because we grew great volume, I mean, currently now we plant, we start like 250 sunflowers every single week. Soil blocking really wouldn't fit that. But if I was a small grower and I'm only looking for like 25 sunflowers or so, I would definitely soil block, and I would use the Mini 27. If I was a home gardener and I only wanted to have 4, 8, or 12 maybe every week or every couple of weeks, I would use the 2-inch blocker, which makes clusters of 4, right? So it's only because we do such volume that we use plug trays, just because that's the most efficient way to do that, right? What type of lighting do you use for your seedlings? You will actually find the lights that we really prefer to use over on our website. We have a 2-foot and a 4-foot model. And you know, lights have evolved over the last few years. And we just started carrying this particular light when it became available to us last year, and we absolutely love it because it has a wider footprint. Our 2-foot light can actually support, when you use the small blocker on those green trays, 400 seedlings in like a 24-inch by 20-inch. That's like a kitchen counter, 2 feet of kitchen counter. Pretty dadgum amazing. So that's what we use. So you can go over and check out those lights. And I have an array of lights here on the farm as they've evolved, and they just get easier and more efficient. And the lights that we offer now have built-in timers, so you don't have to do that in addition. All right, so one last question. Can you explain when to pot up a soil block? What an excellent question. Out of the gate, generally speaking, we always try to start our seeds in soil blocks so that we don't have to pot them up. That's the whole point. The problem with soil blocks, which is a good problem, is they grow quicker than when plants are in containers, and that's because the roots tend to get so much oxygen because they're not in a container. So we literally shave about 1/3 of the growing time off that a seed packet may tell you that it's going to take. There are a couple exceptions to those rules, stuff we really want to grow up into a bigger plant, like maybe a tomato or a pepper before we plant it out. But in general, as flower farmers, people that have way more to do every day than we can ever get to, Our goal is to start them timely so that they are planted in that block, and that block is planted as a healthy transplant out in our garden. So I hope that helps you guys. Love answering your questions. So friends, thanks so much for joining us here today. And remember, you can head over to thegardenersworkshop.com to check out the bundle, which is mine and Dave's course together, as well as the lights and things that we can't offer here in the app. So we have a big store over there too. And until we meet again, friends, ciao.